decades, we do export, but we are now consciously undertaking as a country to say we want to be competitive when it comes to exports, as Mr. Danso has highlighted. Now, the question is, why is it that we want to be competitive? Because we have realized that you would all agree that Gambia is a small country. Now, the economic growth that we aspire for, that we desire, cannot come from just being limited to the domestic market. So we now have to look at ways of selling outside of the Gambia to tap the bigger market. Even if we're looking just ECOWAS or worldwide, ECOWAS alone is over 300 million people. So if we're exporting to ECOWAS, we have a bigger market. Now, when we sell to the outside market, the funds come back in the form of foreign exchange. Now, that is the wealth creation that Mr. Danso is referring to.
Okay, now, thank you actually for making it, putting it in context. Now, let's look at the way the national strategy, the national export strategy was arrived at. You know, you must have, gone through a consultative process before arriving at it. Quickly explain this before proceeding to Mr. Jame and Jata.
Okay.
Who are also important players in this national export strategy.
Okay. The national export strategy was actually developed through a consultative process. Now, what has happened was, and it goes as far back as January 2011, what had happened was we had sought the support of the Commonwealth, and it is the Commonwealth that is funding the development of the national export strategy. Now, we had our first consultative meeting at Kairaba Beach Hotel, where we invited all stakeholders, relevant stakeholders that had interest in this. So it was at that meeting that the concept was agreed. Even it was agreed what sectors should comprise the national export strategy. But in terms of the consultative process, I mean, if I want to go deep into the consultative process now, I think it's quite a, quite a big scope. It was a lot of work, a lot of consultations, even countrywide consultations that were, that we had engaged in. So maybe, we can come to that later on for me to expand more on the consultative process.
Okay. Well, the Department of the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, Mr. Abdullah Jamin, which we are from that ministry, is an important stakeholder in this national export strategy. Tell us about the vital role that you are playing in this, even though GAIPA is the lead agency driving this initiative.
Thank you, Mr. Balde, and good evening, viewers. You are right. In terms of the role of the ministry, it is more of dealing with the policy directions. So if I can start from the Vision 2020, we have the declaration that we want to transform the Gambia into a trading, export-oriented agriculture and manufacturing. So in terms of policy direction, we already know that we want to pursue an export-led development strategy. So how do we do that? This is the reason why we are coming up with the national export strategy, because then it becomes the blueprint that will guide the national effort toward achieving this goal of an export-led strategy. Now, on the side of the ministry, our role is basically in terms of coordinating the process, working closely with JIPA as well as the other stakeholders to ensure that the whole process is very consultative, both at the level of the policymakers are participating in the development of this, as well as the other key relevant stakeholders. And I think what Mr. Robert have mentioned is definitely very important. If we actually want to achieve our development goal, we should not, our vision should not only be limited to producing to sell in the country. I think we have, in terms of that we have developed in terms of the investment promotions that have been going on, a lot of effort has been done. Why are we doing that? We want to pursue this export-led strategy so that while we are calling people to come and invest in this country, government has already made commitment in terms of regional integration. We have been very committed with the regional integration activities. So within the region, we already have a market there.
So, sorry for cutting you. I was actually going to come to that. that is your target audience. Whom are you targeting by this? Because if you see GAIPA being the lead agency and coming here, you know, I mean, to appear or to come on precious air time, prime time, is a very important public information program, and which your ministry is part of. So you must have some targets, some people, you know, the audience that whom you are targeting with this NES export strategy.
I think the first target here, we are looking at the private sector, those in the productive sector. We want to bring to the attention that we have an opportunity to tap the great potential in the ECOWAS market. So the producers who we have already attracted through the investment promotion should utilize this. So I think if there is any target that we have, is the producers, because if we want, before we talk about export, you must have been able to produce. And here, key to the success of pursuing the export-led strategy is actually going beyond subsistent level of productions. We want production to be at a commercial level so that at least we are able to produce more to take advantage of the regional market. Not only the regional market, but also beyond the region, in the global market, where Gambia is a beneficiary of a lot of preferences that we are still underutilizing. So our target mainly is the producers. Not only that, the other one is, while we are working or advocating for people to come and invest at the level of government also, we are working closely with those related to standard issues. It's also very important. We can only take advantage of the regional market or the global market if whatever we are producing is meeting the standards of those markets. So another partners that we would be working closely is the institutions dealing with issues related to standard and quality. Okay. So they are very important.
Mr. Jame, I'll come back to you if time actually allows us, you know, to expound on this area. Mr. Mafuji Jata, I'm sure you've been warming up hearing all what your colleagues have been saying. I mean, the private sector, of course, plays a crucial role in this national export strategy. You are from Gamplast, this Gambia Plastic. Sure. I mean, what vital role are you also playing? Because this, as I said earlier, is a multi-sectoral approach towards development, multi-sectoral approach towards investment, promotion, and export promotion. So what tell us about the role?
Thank you very much, Mr. Baldi, and good evening, viewers. And I think this is a very, important subject, and it's true that, it could have not come, at a better time. Now, talking about, manufacturing, we all know, we the manufacturers, we go into it because of profit making. Now, we all know that, we've already realized that, you cannot make real, profit if you don't go and discover, the outside world. And this outside world, is, as said by other colleagues, it is exportation. If you don't export, you are nowhere. So, there are so many advantages actually if the enabling environment, permits. So to go into that, like we thinking of profit. It's true. But the little profit we have to make sure that, we create something, that we create jobs, understand? And we also trying to develop. You cannot go into, exploitation if you cannot satisfy the local market, you understand? But if the enabling, environment allows it, is there, you can take care of the, local market and also think of, exporting. Now, there are so many advantages. When you export, because like they said, foreign exchange is there, and you also, create market outside. Employment. You try to impose your product outside, because you are not the only one out there. There are so many people, and I'm happy that he mentioned this issue of quality and standard, because in the world market outside there, if you don't have good products, they won't be sold. So it's very important that we look at also that you look at the volume. Of course, when you talk of exportation, you have to think about the volume, because if you don't go into volume, you run into losses in manufacturing. So we are very much particular about this volume. Yes.
Yeah, volume, break it down for us.